tuo fa l'americano, americano, americano. Ma si nati in Italia, sienta a me non c'è sta niente fa. Tuo fa l'americano, tuo fa l'americano, tuo fa l'americano, tuo fa l'americano.
Hello, welcome to Italics, the Italian American magazine. I'm your host, Anthony Tamburri. This is the premiere episode of Italics for this, our 24th season of bringing to you monthly the best of our Italian American community here on the City University of New York's cable television, otherwise known as CUNY TV. We're packed with stories this month, from F to Z, or from Ferraro to Zappa, so let's get right to work. First, we'll take you to the newly dedicated Geraldine A. Ferraro United States Post Office in Long Island City, New York, honoring the groundbreaking contributions of former Congresswoman Geraldine Ferraro from Queens, a staunch fighter for equal rights for women and the first woman to run for the office of Vice President as a major party candidate. The event was held on August 26th, Women's Equality Day, and Geraldine Ferraro's 75th birthday. Next, we'll go to Baltimore, Maryland, where rock musician and composer Frank Zappa was honored for his music and artistry with the unveiling of a bust sculpted in his likeness. The city of Baltimore proclaimed September 19th Frank Zappa Day, and it was selected because it's the 25th anniversary of Zappa's legendary testimony before the U.S. Congress on constitutional free speech and the censorship of the recording industry. Then we'll take you to the Garibaldi Museum's 2010 fundraiser, which honored, amongst others, yours truly, for work done these past 4 years as Dean and Executive Director of the Calandra Institute at Queens College CUNY. Now let's go to the Geraldine A. Ferraro Post Office, Long Island City, and join Ms. Ferraro and her family and friends.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and welcome to the special dedication ceremony of the Geraldine Ferraro Post Office building. This day is made even more significant because today, August 26th, is Women's Equality Day. And it is Ms. Ferraro's 75th birthday.
Today is a particularly important day. It's Geraldine's 75th birthday, and it's also the 90th anniversary of American women gaining the right to vote. Geraldine Ferraro was the first generation child of a widowed immigrant working mom who became the first woman in her family to earn a college degree. When she gained admission to Fordham Law School, an admissions officer said to her, "I hope you're serious, Jerry. You're taking a man's place, you know." After putting herself through law school, she was appointed as an assistant DA in Queens, where she became the head of the new Special Victims Bureau. I can tell you firsthand that when Geraldine Ferraro took the stage as the first woman ever nominated by a national political party to be its candidate for Vice President of the United States, it was absolutely electrifying. She changed my life, and she changed the course and the opportunity for women in our country. That today, the income of working women plays an increasingly critical role in the economic well-being of families. But a significant gender wage gap still persists. The average full-time working woman still earns only 80 cents for every dollar earned by the average full-time working man.
I think you've all seen this picture 1,000 times. It's on the wall in the so-called ladies' room, which is the only women's restroom on the second floor of the Congress. Jerry came to Congress fairly recently, and we went on the floor of Congress, and you would have been amazed to see how many people, especially younger members who never knew her, including Republican members, flocked to her to tell her how significant she and the classy way she handles herself.
We began a friendship, and when I went to Congress, she was so incredibly helpful to me. Because when you go on a special, I'll tell you exactly what happens. You take the oath of office and they hand you a card and say, vote. And if I didn't have Geraldine to watch, I don't know what I would have done. One night I was in California in July of 1984, and I got a call It was Geraldine. And she said, Barbara, I'd like you to nominate me to run for Vice President of the United States. I said, no, Jill. You want me to second you for Vice President of the United States? She said, no, why not have a woman nominated? It was the most wonderful, wonderful night of my life. And it just resounded all over the United States. And as a result, when Jerry and I were first in Congress, you know, it was only about 21, 22 women there. Now there's over 70. There's 16 or 17 women in the Senate. All because Geraldine Ferraro had the courage to go forward.
In 1984, we have this historic candidacy for Vice President of the United States. And then 8 years go by, but in 1992, there's an explosion of women being elected to the United States Congress. And I put that down to the initial inspiration in 1984 when women started filling the pipeline. More and more women were looking at this candidacy at Geraldine Ferraro and saying, I could do that. And they run for school board and city council and county council and state government. What I would like to see, and I intend to see this in my lifetime, is half the Congress be women like Geraldine Ferraro.
As a postmaster of Long Island City, it's truly a pleasure and an honor. Post office renamed Geraldine Ferraro Post Office. Just a little history. I tell you what, you could have picked a nicer place. This office was built in 1929. You can see the molding, the grass boxes. It's truly beautiful building.
I want to go back a little bit and talk about why the post office is something that I was involved with as a member of Congress. In 1978, I was head of the Special Victims Bureau. I go up the street and people say to me, so, what are you going to do about the zip code? Well, it turns out that this beautiful area was zipped into Bushwick, which was at that time, I don't know what it is today. And these people were being charged more for their cars, for insurance, for their home insurance, for every kind of insurance you could possibly think of. So I said, I'm going to do something about that. I'm going to get elected. And the first thing I did was seek out the Post Office and Civil Service Committee. He came in and he said to me, we don't do that. It's an expensive thing. Don't do it. And I explained to him the terrible circumstances for these people. He said to me, get 50,000 signatures. I remember this was before, you know, the commuter stuff. We physically got out about 50,000 signatures. Came back with a pile, gave it to him. He changed the zip code, and I became the Queen of Queens. So I thank you all for being here. I thank you for sharing the day with me. I love being 75, and I'll be happier to be 76, 77.
Next, we'll go to Baltimore, Maryland, where rock musician and composer Frank Zappa was honored for his music and artistry with the unveiling of a bust sculpted in his likeness. Zappa's wife, Gail, and children, Dweezil, Ahmet, and Diva, were also honored by the city and mayor of Baltimore.
What's new in Baltimore? The Frank Zappa statue. What's new in Baltimore? Frank Zappa way. What's new in Baltimore? What's new in Baltimore?
Today we honor and celebrate the career, life, and legacy of one of the world's greatest artists, Baltimore's own Frank Zappa. And what makes this so special is that we are honored to have here with us members of the Zappa family. Frank's widow, Gail, Mrs. Zappa, Gail. His children, Diva, Ahmed, and Dweezil. This afternoon, though, wouldn't be possible without the generosity of Frank Zappa's fans in Lithuania. I want you to give a special welcome to the donors of the sculpture and the mayor of Vilnius, Lithuania, the capital of the country, where the original sculpture is located. Please stand. We'll hear from them later. Now, many of you know that the career spanning more than 3 decades, Frank Zappa's legacy is engraved in the music and the fabric of music around the world. He was one of the most prolific musicians of our time, whose albums are considered essentials in rock and jazz and remain a major influence on other composers and musicians. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995 and received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1997. There's so many reasons to have a sculpture of Frank Zappa anywhere in his native Baltimore, but it is the Pratt Library's honor and really a privilege, really, to have this great statue and sculpture installed in the courtyard of one of our newest locations. Because, as many of you know, he was not only a musical genius, but a major advocate of free speech, artistic freedom, and the library's bill of rights. Today, September 19th, is the 25th anniversary of Mr. Zappa's momentous congressional testimony in favor of free expression. And that's why we're going to dedicate this sculpture on Zappa Way on Zappa Day. And you can see it right there.
One of the things I so admire about Frank Zappa is the way he broke down barriers. And this is something we in the classical profession can learn to emulate. He was a composer who performed, a performer who wrote, who thought, who advocated for the great art of music and for freedom of expression. In fact, I'm told some years earlier, Frank Zappa reached out to Peabody, and we didn't know what to do with that invitation. And I've apologized to Mr. Zappa. For that, I am sorry.
The bust that will be unveiled today is a replica of the original sculpture located in the capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, and it was created by artist Konstantinas Bogatas. Now, the 2 men who commissioned the sculpture are here with us today.
Thank you, folks, for coming here, and I think it's a very good mark, not especially for Frank Zappa, but also for art, human mind, and democracy also. So thank you very much.
We are also honored today to have here the mayor of Vilnius, Lithuania. So please welcome the Honorable Vilius Daviskas.
Šiandien yra diena, kai aš didžiuojuosi Vilniumi, Vilniaus sostinė, Lietuvos sostinė.
Today is the day when I'm so proud of Vilnius, the capital city of Lithuania.
Ir didžiuojuosi todėl, kad mes turime tokius puikius vilniečius, kurie tik buvo prieš mane, kurie idėją pastatyti Zappai paminklą Vilniuje realizavo ne tik Vilniuje, bet ir Baltimorėje.
And the reason I'm so proud is because I have these 3 great citizens of Vilnius next to me who realized this unbelievable idea of building a statue for Frank Zappa, not only in Vilnius, but in Baltimore.
I would say when they asked me where should this statue be placed in Baltimore, I said, let's find a community library. And the reason is because Frank said, if you want to get laid, go to college. But if you want an education, go to the library. So I know it's possible to do both. However, I think the underlying message is always going to be invest in yourself, pay attention to the things that you're interested in. And that brings me to the other reason why we're here today is because these guys in Vilnius. They had this crazy, wacky idea, someone would think that, but they had this idea to prove that democracy was alive and well in Vilnius, in Lithuania. And so they set about creating a petition that the citizens of Vilnius immediately took to, and from that dream to today, bringing that statue all the way here to Baltimore, you can give the credit to them. Let me see the show of hands or the shout from the people that are from Baltimore. It is fair to say to the Zappa family that the spirit of Frank Zappa is alive and well in Baltimore. We have such a vibrant alternative music scene here in Baltimore, all throughout the city. And I want you all to know it is on his shoulders that you stand. So we say thank you. The location of the Southwest Anchor Library is the perfect spot and allows for interaction by residents and visitors with the sculpture. Today, and from now on, this library rocks. Frank Zappa's contribution to music and to society, not just here in Baltimore, not just here in our country, but worldwide, is immeasurable. Earlier today, we recognized this block of Conklin Street as Frank Zappa Way, and right now, I would like to proclaim September 19th, Frank Zappa Day in Baltimore. Proclamation by Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake designating September 19, 2010 as Frank Zappa Day in Baltimore, whereas the city of Baltimore is proud of its rich musical heritage, and we are honored to claim the prolific composer, musician, and author Frank Zappa as a native son of our great city. Whereas Frank Zappa has received worldwide recognition for his talents, innovation, and uncompromising defense of the First Amendment and the Bill of Rights of the United States. And whereas this day marks the 25th anniversary of Frank Zappa's momentous congressional testimony on Capitol Hill in favor of free expression by recording artists, so it is appropriate for the city of Baltimore to recognize one of our favorite native sons on this day. Now, therefore, I, Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, Mayor of the city of Baltimore, do hereby proclaim September the 19th, 2010, as Frank Zappa Day in Baltimore.
Diva, they're calling you. Dweezil Diva.
Thank you. It's overwhelming, really. We're going to play some music for you in a minute, but really, thank you so much.
So surprised at how overwhelmingly amazing this all is. Thank you so much for just loving my dad.
You know, our python boot was too tight. I couldn't get it off last night. A week went by, and now it's July. I finally got it off, and my girlfriend cried. She said, "Stick foot!" Stick foot, darling. Your stinking foot puts the hurts on my nose. Stick foot, I ain't lying. Can you reach it off, do you suppose?
Thank you, everybody.
What's new in Baltimore?
Thank you, Lithuania.
Baltimore.
Next, we'll take you to the Garibaldi Museum's 2010 fundraiser, which honored a number of people for their work in the Italian-American community.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our 29th annual luncheon program for the Garibaldi Museum.
I want to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing this past year. It's been really amazing. We've had a lot of wonderful things. We have a very thriving Italian language class. We have a Speakers Bureau program. That's going really well. And just so you know, for your lodges, if you would ever want to have one of our speakers come out to your lodges, just call us and we can make arrangements for you. At the same time, if you would like to come visit the museum, I can help you make arrangements with a bus. You can bring your whole lodge to the museum. So just give us a call and I'd be happy to work that out with you.
This museum represents the best of what our culture and our heritage can provide. This is where we can physically see something going on in our Sons of Italy.
I always say one thing. We all buy lottery tickets. We all go out to dinner. We do a lot of things with our money. Some people have more money to spend than others. But you all drink a glass of wine. A glass of wine costs $7.50 to $9. I say, have one glass of wine. And the second glass of wine, put that $9 to the museum. But we all need it.
This brings us to the notion of course, cultural philanthropy. And obviously we're speaking about money, but predecessors have already done that. But philanthropy, I need to underscore, is also behavioral. And you don't have to always give money to be a philanthropist, but you need to go to the events. You need to go to the lectures. You need to go to the art shows. You need to attend all other events that are going on that deal with Italian-American history, culture, and the like.
People I want to thank the most are the people who are on staff. You know, we pay people to do certain things, and they do way, way beyond what they're supposed to do. And for that, I appreciate it personally.
The museum, it's an act of culture. It's a focal point for all of us where we can get together, connection to the past. The motto, preserving the past for the future, just not words. We want our children and grandchildren to have the same feelings for what's important to us. It has to be taught and shown. If we don't do that, it dies.
And I think the museum is a great, great thing. And keep contributing to our museum, please, because we need that. It's a very important part of our lives. Thank you very much. Safe home, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Next on Italics News Briefs, we'll bring you an extended calendar of a myriad of events and presentations this semester at the Calandra Institute.
The following is a list of events that are part of the Fall 2010 series and some special events sponsored by the John D. Calandra Italian-American Institute, Queens College, CUNY. The Philip V. Canistraro Seminar Series in Italian-American Studies features scholars presenting their current works. On Thursday, October 14th, The Power of What Comes After, Italian-American Death Talk by Mary Jo Bona of Stony Brook University. On Thursday, November 18th, Anti-Catholicism and National Security Politics in World War II San Francisco by William Issel of San Francisco State University. And on Thursday, December 9th, Performing Italian in the American Songbook by Mark Rotella. The Writers Read series, where Italian-American authors read from their published works. On Tuesday, October 5th, readings from Avanti Popolo, Italian-American writers sail beyond Columbus. On Wednesday, November 10th, Gioia Timpanelli reads from What Makes a Child Lucky. And on Monday, December 13th, Frank Lentricchia reads from The Italian Actress. Documented Italians is a documentary film series that presents films by or about Italian Americans. On Wednesday, September 29th, Zampogna, The Soul of Southern Italy, directed by David Marker, followed by a post-screening discussion with the director, led by Joseph Shora of the Calandra Institute. On Monday, October 18th, In Altro Mare, directed by Franco Lacecla, followed by a post-screening discussion with the director, led by Joseph Shora of the Calandra Institute. On Thursday, November 4th, Average Community, directed by Fred Zara. And on Monday, December 6th, Totò, directed by Peter Schreiner, followed by a post-screening discussion led by Frank Tomasulo of National University. The Calandra is pleased to announce its special presentations. On Wednesday, October 27th, exhibition opening, Lillian Caruana's Punks and Skinheads of the East Village. Thursday, December 2nd, Italy and Early American Cinema, Race, Landscape, and the Picturesque, by Giorgio Bertellini, University of Michigan. The following are this fall's semester symposia at the Calandra Institute. Friday, November 5th, Hybrid Moments, Independent Music in Italian America. Tuesday, November 16th, in collaboration with the University of Perugia, Linguistic and Cultural Migrations. And on Wednesday, November 17th, the Bordighera Poetry Prize. All events are free and take place at the Calandra Institute, 25 West 43rd Street, 17th floor in Manhattan. Space is limited, so please call ahead for reservations. To make reservations or for more information, call 212-642-2094 and visit our website www.qc.cuny.edu/Calandra.
Well, that's it for this premiere edition of Italics. October is Italian Heritage and Culture Month. This year's celebrations of Italian heritage and culture honor Maria Montessori, groundbreaking medical doctor, engineer, and educator. Her method of educating children is still employed by many schools to great success to this day. We are delighted to announce our 4th annual Italian Heritage Month on CUNY TV. Starting on Monday, October 11th, we'll bring you 4 exciting 60-minute specials on the Italian American experience. Again, thanks for watching. I'm Anthony Tamburri. See you next time. Arrivederci alla prossima puntata.